Okay, hi everyone. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Getting over some sickness, so I have a little bit of a voice. Um, Here we go. So this past week, I read Chapter 4 of The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. This past week was all about recovering a sense of integrity. This week may find you grappling with changing self-definition. So some things that I highlighted that stood out to me in this chapter include okay is a blanket word for most of us. It covers all sorts of squirmy feelings, and it frequently signals a loss. We officially feel okay, but do we? Chekhov advised, if you want to work on your art, work on your life. There's another way of saying that in order to have self-expression, we must first have a self to express. Clarity creates change. And thanks to the morning pages, we learn what we want and ultimately become willing to make the changes needed to get it, but not without a tantrum. And not without a kriya, a Sanskrit word meaning a spiritual emergency or surrender, cries of the soul as it is wrung through changes. In 12-step groups, kriyas are often called surrenders. People are told, just let go, and they would, if they knew what they were holding on to. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. As with any rupture, there is both tension and relief. It's two-sided. Travelers on the artist's way are seldom aware of the speed of their growth. All you need to do to receive guidance is to ask for it, and then listen. The morning pages symbolize our willingness to speak to and hear God. Our own art, our own thoughts and feelings will begin to nudge aside the sludge of blockage to loosen it and move it upward and outward until once again our well is running freely. Creativity is a spiritual, not an ego issue, and growth must have time to solidify into health. One day at a time, you are building the habit patterns of a healthy artist. Easy does do it. Now, for most blocked creatives, reading is an addiction. We gobble the words of others rather than digest our own thoughts and feelings, rather than cook up something of our own. This actually bothered me, and here's why. Because just a little bit sooner, when she was quoting Chekhov, if you want to work on your art, work on your life. You must have a self to express in order to have self-expression. So what I've been taught, from my understanding, everything you consume in life, like the people you surround yourself with, the places you go to, the things that you do, the media that you consume, the movies and shows that you watch, the books that you read, the magazines you look at, everything makes up who you are and how you interact with your world. So reading, she has a whole chapter here on reading deprivation. Something she wanted us to do this past week was spend the entire week not reading anything. And right away I'm reading this chapter and thinking this is bullshit because of what I'm talking about here. You need to read. It's not just entertainment or what Cameron calls distracting, right? Because it can be used as a distraction if you're like, oh, I could get some work done. I could send these emails. Or I can just see, what's happening to this one character I'm in love with in the next chapter of this novel I'm reading. I could go see a play and network after the show, or I can just sit on the couch and scroll through Netflix for the next couple hours. We all have choices, right? So she's arguing that all the media we consume on a regular basis that we don't even think about is all distracting us from being able to play and unblock our creative selves. So she's like, let's see what happens this week if you don't read. And I tried here and there. I had moments or I had days or moments throughout the days. I was like, okay, I'm not going to read. I'm not going to watch anything. I'm going to work on my diamond painting instead, this arts and crafts project I started. Or I'm going to unload the dishwasher, or I'm going to go for a walk, or I'm going to pick up my guitar. I'm going to tune my guitar because it's been a hot minute, you know? But for the most part, I was like, F this, I want to read this book. F this, I'm going to watch this show until 5 a.m. because I can't, you know? So I hear what she's saying, but I don't like it. And that's okay. That's my words of wisdom, how I feel about this reading deprivation nonsense she's talking about. So a majority of the reading from this past week was just encouraging you to keep up with the morning pages in your artist date and telling you whether or not you feel like you're growing. Trust me, you are. You've come this far. You're 4 chapters deep into this 12-chapter book. You're doing good. And this is why. So that was kind of cool. Her talking about, you know, you're going through changes and your soul is going to throw a tantrum about it. It's like, I don't like change. You can't make me. That was kind of a fun image for me. My soul just kind of kicking and screaming on the sidewalk outside of Walmart or something, you know. So that's my main takeaways. I actually did not go officially on an artist date this week because I got sick and I wasn't up for much of anything and didn't work much, didn't leave the house much. Just trying to rest up and hurry the heck up and start feeling better. So that's where we're at. I will try to go on an artist date this upcoming week for week 5. Chapter 5 is going to be about recovering a sense of possibility. So join me here next week for that. Comment below, let me know how you're doing and what your thoughts are on reading deprivation. Thanks for watching.